I'm Jacob Ballard.
And I'm Daniel Ballard.
We're two brothers on a 2-month road trip with one mission: to promote and enliven the entrepreneurial spirit throughout the United States.
We're meeting with big town small business owners and sharing their experiences with those seeking to learn about the benefits, challenges, and insatiable drive that go hand in hand with running an independent business.
Last week, we featured Gina J. Morris, co-owner and designer at Radish Underground in Portland, Oregon's West End, a downtown district with an impressive community of cooperative small businesses. After Portland came Tacoma, Washington, where we boarded a ferry and took a ride over to the birthplace of Starbucks and grunge music, Seattle, the Emerald City.
Here we spent an afternoon browsing the many shops and vendors of Seattle's famous Pike Place Market, then walked around downtown, taking in the city's impressive landmarks.
After that, we were back on the ferry crossing the river to Tacoma, where we interviewed Mark Simmons, founder and chief engineer of Pacific Recording Studios.
Originally a musician, Mark began developing a passion for music production in the early 90s, recording himself and his friends in his home studio and honing his skills at the mixing board before deciding to open his first professional studio in 1998.
With just a little bit of seed money, I was able to start the first studio. And I was like, look, I'm just going to do this because I have nothing to lose.
5 years later, Mark moved into a space about a block away, and with help from his brother and friends, began the ambitious process of building the larger studio that he currently occupies.
The expansion has proven to be worth the time, effort, and money involved. Pacific Studios is thriving, and we asked Mark what draws clients to his particular space.
We're pretty good about getting what they want quickly. You know, they're paying a lot of money. You know, they might have been saving up for a while to come in and do that, so we want to definitely deliver. In my case, I have a lot of vintage instruments that people like to come in and use, especially the keyboards, the old amps, things like that. And I also have some really good musicians that we call the Wrecking Crew. With those guys and the old gear and with the new technology too, it keeps us busy. One of the biggest changes in this industry has been the home studios. Every few years it gets easier and easier to have a home studio. And for me, I kind of embraced that whole thing. You know, I came from a home studio. I have a lot of home studio clients, and you know, I make myself compatible with home studios, and that's really brought me a lot of business.
But business hasn't always been steady. Mark is one of many small business owners who felt the impact of the recent economic crisis.
After this last economy slowdown, I decided to re-engage in this internet presence, websites and Facebook and things, and actually getting out, hitting more clubs and just meeting more bands, and bringing some new talent and some new blood in here. Go to industry parties, try to network. Those things, you have to do that. You have to be a face out there. We had a website, very basic website, and it was just kind of there. And when we relaunched into more of a real website and linked it with Facebook and everything, and it really made a difference. Gotten a handful of good customers that kind of made my year last year off the website.
Mark recently began renting out his space to a local arts high school, providing hands-on educational tools for young, aspiring engineers.
When an opportunity came up for them to come in and use the space as a classroom, we met and we thought, this would be a cool place for seminars. The students can be in a real studio. Well, that quickly grew into let's just do a class here. Mutually, we all thought, wow, this would be a great opportunity for the kids. It's not that much money for a school district to come and basically rent some time, from the studio. That has helped kind of stabilize the business too in the last 2 years. To run a successful business, it takes a lot of drive. Things that, when you think you're at your limit, you just got to go for it. You got to keep going. The fact that I'm even here is just kind of, I'm just driven to do it. It gets in your blood.
We got the chance to speak with Tryfe, one of Mark's employees and an entrepreneur in his own right, about what it takes to be successful in business.
You have to have confidence. Will to succeed. Persistent. I've been persistent. I don't stop. You know what I mean? I just keep going. I change direction, but I keep going. My uncle taught me how to make beats when I was 8. Said, this is how you really make a beat. I've grown from being a rapper into helping people become what they want to become in music, you know, whether it's rap or if it's R&B. Marketing is ultimately, I think, my real passion. And right now I can sell music and I can help you sell your music. I'm tired of seeing products that I help help build, help establish, brands I help design. And then they go out, they drop their CD and they put it on the internet and they go, period, it's done. I don't want that. You know, I want to help somebody actually get it to the market the way we envisioned it.
With so many changes that have taken place in the music industry over the past 10 years, more and more new artists are producing their music in smaller, independent studios instead of being developed by major record labels.
They don't seem to do as much development as they used to do. And you know, don't blame them. There's a billion studios putting out some pretty good stuff. Whereas, you know, 30 years ago, you had to go to the big studio, spend the big bucks. That definitely has changed. This year alone, I've had 3 people get record deals, which is refreshing because that means that they're signing people again. There was a period there, you know, wasn't much happening, you know, on the record deal front. The internet's opened up a lot of opportunity for bands that don't really have a chance to get signed. There's new apps, new ways music's being distributed. Every week you hear about something new. So that's exciting. There's a new app where you can upload your live show as you're doing your show anywhere in the country. Really? And the person can buy it by the time they get up to the parking lot to buy the show they just saw. So those things are pretty cool. So it's a whole new revenue stream. You know, that's an app called Lively. Check it out.
Pacific Studios is now in its 15th year, and what has helped sustain Mark's business the most is simply his undeniable passion for music.
I'm still impressed with just talent. I get the luxury of actually liking my job and seeing this great guitar player, this great singer, this drummer pull something off, and you know, sometimes they got to be pushed, or sometimes it just happens, and that's what I like about the day-to-day, right? I've always been into music, so starting out on violin in grade school, then guitar, and then, you know, bands and so on. So having a facility and doing this every day came from actually loving music, playing music, and I still do. Every night on the way home, I'm just rocking out, basically. You know.
That about wraps up Week 7 of Big Town Small Business from the Evergreen State. Don't forget to subscribe, follow our blog, find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at iWebXpert. And if you're feeling generous, donate on our website at www.bigtownsmallbusiness.com.
Before we sign off, we'd like to leave you with a little track we recorded after our interview at Pacific Studios with Tryfe sitting in as co-writer and producer.
Yo, JCP. Yeah. 2 brothers, 2 months, 1 mission. We road tripping, executing vision with precision and intention. Bringing y'all that knowledge through this footage we be clipping. Now time for y'all to listen to this business we be spitting. Who running the show? Hey, get money for show. Hey, who running the show? Hey, get money for show. Hey, who running the show? Hey, get money for show. Hey, who running the show? Hey, get money for show. Hey. Yeah, we bout to travel life. Make sure that you travel life. On the road every night. Look out for the red lights. Yeah, we bout to travel life. Make sure that you travel life. On the road every night. Look out for the red lights. 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 Look out for the red